to come here. When I talked about it, he said, I'm glad to go. For him being as busy as he is, that to me says a lot about his character. Personal character. Well, everyone here didn't get paid except for Wayne. Wait a second.
Yeah, if you can give him a penny, that's more than he's got.
You know, that's something to look at too. When you see people like Lucas and Danny, David and myself out, we don't do it for money. We don't do it for the accolades. We do it because we love history, number one. And number two, we love it because we get a chance to interact with young people. And every time I was ever interviewed at a battlefield, at a reenactment, I said, you know, the greatest thing about this, being at this reenactment, is this. If I see a young person and they hear the thunder roar, they can smell the gunpowder. If you do, you can actually taste the gunpowder. You can see the flash from the cannon, and you definitely hear it. So you use all five senses to interact. And believe me, when a young person had a chance to see Jackson or Stuart or Lee and listen to what they had to say, it captured their memory right then. They weren't going to forget that quite as quick as when they read in the book, General Lee was the commander of the Army of Northern Virginia, and General Jackson was one of his infantry commanders, and General Stuart was his cavalry commander. They'll forget that tomorrow, but they'll never forget the interaction they have with that reenactor on the field when he has a chance to see General Stuart or General Lee or General Jackson, or when he has a chance to hear that cannon or see that musket or see those soldiers ride across the field on their horses. They never forget that. And if you're a reenactor, think about what you're doing when you reenact, because you're giving that young person, sometimes that older young person, something to keep in their mind, and you never know how many heads you turn. And all it takes every time we get together is to change one person's attitude about what we do. And that has made the whole day worthwhile.
I'll give you an example. This past weekend when we was down at Mike Kent's relic show down in Nashville, Franklin. And we was there, and you saw the three pretty little women candy sellers. You saw them going around.
These little girls have been selling candy since they were cookies since they were this size.
And they came up and hugged us, and I'm going, oh, I'm lucky. Look at her, pretty little girls. And they're 20, 18, whatever. And they looked at us, and Pam said, I remember you when we did the relic show in Pigeon Forge. You always dressed in little dresses and came, and that's who they were. And they remembered us.
And they put themselves through school,
yep,
through college, and they still remember us and the impression that we made on people. And so that's the thing we as reenactors need to do. The last thing I'd like to say is these three generals, Lee, Jackson, and Stuart, were three of the greatest Christian gentlemen that ever served on the battlefield here.
Gave him the line.
And I forgot, I just got tugged on and almost pulled my sleeve off. Said, you didn't mention that my son is a professor at LMU, Lee Memorial University, Lincoln Memorial University, and he is. And, we're real proud of Lucas, and he comes Leatherwood.